Jai Hind everyone, my name is Kamini Tawar. I am assistant professor in Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College. Today I am going to discuss a topic, structure in C. This is a topic from the subject programming for problem solving, and this is the continuity series that I have in previous my lecture. I have discussed about the arrays. Now in this lecture I am going to discuss about the structure. Okay. Uh, in this uh, in this lecture, I am going to discuss the definition of structure, the initialization structures, and how to access the element or the members of a structure. So in today's lecture we will going to discuss about these three topics. Okay. So what is structures in C? Basically, structure is the collection of related variables under a one variable name. We will, before starting the structures, we will recall the definition of array, that what is array. Then we will move on structures. So basically, array is the collection of similar type of data. Or you can say array is basically basically a list, okay, where in a list we are going to store a similar type of data. So in array, what is the drawback, or you can say what is the limitation of array? That we can only store a similar type of data. That means if you want to store the record of a class, then in a class we are having the student name, student roll number, their marks, and many more attributes we are having. But with the help of array, if we want to store with the help of array, then we only store a similar type data. That means we are just creating the list only. That in one time we are just able to store the name of the students only. For storing the marks, we have to initialize, or we have to again declare another array. In that array, we will store the roll number of the class, of the entire class. And for the another entry, we have to again declare the one more array. Like this, I'm taking the example of array. Suppose if you want to store int roll number, then we are just going to create array of name roll number. In this array, in a variable name roll number, we are just storing the roll number of the class, like suppose 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. For storing the name of the class student's name, what we have to do, we want to declare, name is in character type. Again we have to declare a array of name, that is suppose 50. Okay, now this is a array where we are going to store only the name. Okay, likewise, if we want to store marks, then again we were going to declare another array. That means for every entity we have to declare a new array, because in a single array we cannot allow that we will store a roll number here, then name here, then marks here. This is not allowed in arrays. So to overcome the limitation of array, we introduce a new term, that is structures in C. Now, what is a structure? As its definition says, a structure is the collection of related variable under one name. That means we are just declaring a single variable, and in that variable we are going to store multiple type of data. That means under one variable name we are going to store the roll number, the name, and the marks. All are under one variable name. So that is known as structures. Means whenever we want to store multiple type of data types, or we can say the different type of data types in a single variable name, that is known as structures. For example, for storing the records, or we are creating the table, then that time with the help of structure we store the elements of array. Okay, like with the help of this structure we can create the create linked list, stacks, queues, tree. All are the example of structures. With the help of these with the help of these structures we can create all these things like linked list, stacks, queues and trees. Okay, now first we have to how we declare, or how we define the structure of structure. Okay, for defining the structure, what we have to do, we have two things. First, this is the syntax of defining a structure. This is only just define that we need this type of entities in our for storing the records. Okay, like first for defining the structure, what we need? We need a keyword struct. For defining or for declaring or initializing whatever we are dealing, whenever we are dealing with the structures, we need a keyword that is struct. Then we are having a structure name. This structure name is basically a tag name. This tag name is optional. If you want to use, or if you want to write the tag name with struct, then that is okay. If you if you want to skip this one, that is also okay. Okay, then in the parenthesis, what we have? We are having some members. These are the members of structure. Members of structure. Okay, here this is a definition of structure. With the help of this definition, we are allowed to store multiple number of data types. Like we are having first data type member 1, member 2, member 3, up to which it depends on you how many members you want to store, or you want to store the record of the members with the help of this. That means these are the entities. Like before I am telling about that you want to store the name, roll number, marks. Likewise, this is the area where you have to declare or define the data types or data type members, that how many members you want to define in your structure. Okay, so this is the simple, and after defining this we have to mention this semicolon here. This is the definition of structure. Means this definition will not take the space in your memory. This is just a template. You can say this is the template. Okay, and template is not taking any memory in the in the memory. It is not take any memory space in your memory, because this is only the definition. When it will take your memory space in your memory, when you are declaring the variable under which one variable you are going to store these all members. Okay, so now this is one example. Okay, this is the example of defining a structure. Suppose we are declaring a student tag name here. Now in this student tag name, what we are having members like int roll number, roll number of integer type, age of integer type, and name of character type. That means name is an array of character. Okay, what is array of character? This is the collection of similar type of character. Here this is array of character, means this is the collection of similar type or collection of the arrays, characters. So this is the array of character. So in this structure, what we have done, we are just creating a student tag name structure, and in this structure we are having three members, and those are roll number, age, and character name. Roll number, age, and name. So we are just storing the values of roll number, age, and name. So we are just storing. We are just storing multiple or different type of data data types in a single variable name. So we have just declared this definition. After definition, we have to declare the variable. How we declare the variable? Okay, declaration of structure variable is as same as your normal declaration. If we are declaring a element suppose we are declaring int a. So this is the declaration of a variable a. Okay, as simple as we are declaring the declaring structure variable also. In this declaration, what we are having, this is a data type. What the two things we are required, first is data type and the second one is the variable name. We are having two things. Similarly, for declaring the structure variable, we need two things, the data type and the variable name. Now the question arises, which type of data type we are using here? This is a basic that our data type is of three types. One is your primitive data type. Primitive data type means that are already defined. That means this int is a primitive data type. Int, char, float. These are the primitive data type, or you can say the fundamental data type. Then we are having derived data type, means like we are declaring int a 10. Here this int is a derived data type that are basically our arrays. Array. Now the third category is your user defined data type. User defined data type means the data type which we are defining. So this is the third category of data type. Now structure variable comes under this data type. Structure comes under this user defined data types. For declaring the structure variable, we need to first create the data type. For that, we have already defining the structure. The defining of this structure is basically we are creating the data type of that type. And now with the help of that struct student, we are going to declaring the variable like this. This is the declaration of a variable. Int a, that means data type and then variable name. Same here also. Okay. Now what do you mean? First, declaration structure variable means when we are allocating memory to the structure variable. Declaration simple means whenever we are allocating a memory to the variable, any variable, like it is of structure variable, it is of array variable, it is of union variable, or it is of simple variable like this int a. So this means we are declaring the variable. That means we are just allocating the variable memory to the variable. So the meaning of the declaration is simple, just allocating the memory to that variable. Okay. So for allocating memory for a structure variable, what we required is, if you compare this with the simple variable like int a, where what the two things we need data type plus variable name. Same thing, we are in structure variable, we need the same two field, that is your data type and the variable name. Okay, so for as I have just told you that it is a user defined data type. So which data type we are using here? Structure name. This complete is behaving as a user defined data type. I hope everybody know about the data type. What is the role of data type? What is the use of data type? Why we are using the data type? Basically, a data type is told you that what which type of data you are going to store in the particular variable in your location. Okay. Then we are having variable name. So this is simple. If you compare it with this int a, both are similar. Int is here data type, here simple struct. Structure name is the data type. Okay. Then variable name. Variable name, you can choose any variable name. It's basically follow the property of variables, that you cannot start with one numeric value, not to start with any symbols except the underscore. All variable properties it will follow. Okay, simple variable name is same as it is, that follow the rules of the variable name. Okay, so here one example is here. Struct student S. Same. This struct student is a data type, or you can say data type, and this S is the variable name. Simple declaration of structure variable. If you compare with the previous declaration, you can easily understand the declaration of structure variable. Okay. First, what you have to do, you have to just define the structure that I have just show you in my previous slide. That first we have to, for declaring a structure, first we have to define the structure. After defining, this is the definition of the structure. After defining the structure, you have to declare the structure. For declaring the structure, we are using the keyword with the tag name, that is struct student, and then declaring a variable, that is any variable you can choose, like we are choose here S. So this is the declaration of the structure. Okay, so now next is how we initialize, or this is the representation of the structure variable in the memory. Like we are using 3 field here, or we can say 3 members in a structure, like roll number, age, and the third one is the name. Okay, so in a structure, in a single field, in a single memory block, we are using separate blocks, or you can say in a single variable name, we are using this variable name. In this single variable name, we are going to store the roll number, that is of integer type, age, that is of again integer type, and then the name, that is of character type. So that means in a single, with the help of this single variable, we are just storing the 3 different data types. Okay, and this is the representation of storing, because suppose name is I will say Abhishek, 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 or you can take any name. So our data is stored our value is stored one by character. So like this, this is the character of array. Okay, this is, you can say, this is initialization of array. How we can initialize the value in an array. Likewise, this is the initialization of array. Difference you can easily see in between the array and the structure. Array is basically be responsible for storing only the names, only the integer type, only the float type. But in a structure, what we are doing here, with the help of this single S variable name, we are storing the roll number as well as age as well as the name. So this is the basically representation of your structure variable in your memory. Next, this is the continuative example. You can just look at this example. I will just explain you how you can declare, or you can define. Definition plus declaration is of, basically you can do these 3 types. Okay, now first type is you can write struct keyword, then take the book keyword tag name, and in under this tag name you can you are having 3 members, that is name of character type, price of float type, page of integer type. Okay, now here the declaration of structure variable is of 3 type you are declaring. Like when you are declaring variables, structure variable along with definition, this is the declaration of a variable along with definition. You can write declaration of structure variable along with structure definition. This is of the first type. You can see here, this is the definition, and with this definition you are declaring the variable also. That means this is the declaration of structure variable along with the definition. Means you are defining your structure. In this definition you are declaring. This is the first type of declaration. Now the second type is both type is same, declaration along with definition, but the difference is here you just see I'm not using or I'm not writing the book here. That means the tag name is not mandatory, it is optional. Tag name is optional. Either if you want to write the tag name, that is okay. If you do not want to write the tag name, that is also okay. So this is the second type of type, like how you can declare. This one is also okay, this one is also okay. Now the third type is definition and separately declaration. First you are defining the structure like this. This is the definition of the structure. Definition of structure. Okay, and this is the declaration of structure. This is the declaration. In this case, you are separately, okay, separately you are defining and separately you are declaring the elements, declaring the variable. So these are the three types. You can, in these three types, you can easily declare or defining the structure of variable. Okay. Next, how we access the structure element. It is very important to know that for accessing the element of a structure, we need a operator. We cannot access the element because it is a user defined data type. We are declaring a new data type. Okay, that means in previously we are not having this type of data type. We are just declaring this data type for this type of declaration or this type of data type. We need a special operator for accessing the element. If I'm talking about in our normal data with the normal data type, what we are doing, suppose int a, we have returned like int a equals to 10. That means I am having a variable and in that variable I am storing the value 10. Now I want to access this element. For accessing this element, what we are using, we are just write the printf and passing the a. This is the access. You can easily access with the help of this printf statement. Okay, for this we need only this format specifier. This is a formatted formatted output function. With this formatted output function, you can easily access the element of a variable from the memory. This is the simple way we are doing. But in a structure, we need a special operator, that is your dot operator. This is very important in your structure. With the help of this dot operator, you can easily access the element, or this is the mandatory operator for accessing the element of the structure. Likewise this. You can compare. Okay, you can easily compare. Likewise, here I am using this a equals to 10. But instead of a equals to 10, what we are using in our structure, we using s dot roll number equals to 10. That means s dot roll number is initialized with the value 3. Okay. Hope you understand. Likewise, if you are access the element in your second field, means structure is what? Structure is like this. Okay, we are having 3 fields. That means this is your S roll number, S age, and S name. This is the structure basically representation. And in this we are storing 3. Here 18 and here your RAM. RAM is basically in the like this RAM. Like this, because this is a array of character. Okay, or you can say this is a string. So a string is basically stored character by string. So this is the representation of a structure. And because with a single name you are storing different data types, we are storing different type of data. So for that we have to access the element with the help of some new operator, that is your dot operator. Likewise, okay. So you can just, I'm showing, give you the example. You can just see how the data is accessed. Okay, like I have already discussed this, how we can access the element with the help of this dot operator. Here what is S? S is a variable, structure variable, and these are the members of the structure. Okay, now this is the how we access the element, how we can access the element of the structure. Now the second thing is how we initialize the structure variables, that how we can initialize. Okay, so one type that I have told you, you can individually one by one we can initialize the value, like S dot roll number you can initialize, then second field, then third field. And the second type is you can initialize the value in a single step, or you can in a single statement, like this. You don't need to specify a particular. If you compare this with the array, you can easily get the difference, or you can easily relate this. How we can initialization is as it is same as it is the we are initializing in array or any other data. Okay, like in here also you can initialize separately, means the you are giving the location name. In that location name, you just initialize the value directly. If you are not specifying a particular location, then also the second way is you can initialize the value in a single statement. Okay, this is the example. This is which type of initialization is this? In my previous video, I have already told you that whenever we are initializing the value of a variable, there are basically two types. One is your compile time and the second one is your runtime. I have already discussed about this, what is runtime and what is compile time. In compile time, we are giving the value at the, like this. This is the compile time initialization. Before execution, we are giving the value to the variable. And the second one is the runtime initialization. The runtime initialization is basically when we are asking the value from the user. This type of initialization is your runtime initialization. So in same way, structure also we are having compile time plus runtime. So these two type or these two ways of your compile time initialization, you are just at the before the compilation, we are just declaring we are just initializing the value. Okay, this is one type, one way, and this is the second way. In a single way, in a single statement, or you can separately initialize the value. But in this case, whenever you are initializing in a single statement, there is one rule. You have to initialize the value according to the members that we are declared in the structure definition. Like in a structure definition, what we have first, I'll just show you the structure definition. Suppose this is the structure definition. In this definition, first we are declaring name, we are defining name, then price, then page. According to this, if you want to declare, if you initialize the value, then what is important? Important is you have to struct book, and I am taking a variable 1. Then how you can initialize? We have to follow the sequence. Means first we have to initialize the value in name. Suppose I have write Ram. Then second one is your price. Suppose I have taken 10.5. And third is your page. Suppose 25. That means we have to follow a sequence. The sequence in which our structure definition or our members are defined, according to which we have to initialize the value. We cannot initialize value in a random way. Okay, so this is important. This is means sequence is important. Sequence or order of data member. Is important. Okay, so this is, you can just look at this, or you just, I think with the help of this you can easily understand. So let's take one example of structure. So in this example, we have to just read the information of a student from keyboard. and print the same on the screen using structure. So in this example, I am doing the initialization with the you can say I am using runtime initialization, as we are this means read the information of a student from keyboard. That means we are entering the input from the user, and whenever we are entering or just inputting from the user, that means we are talking about the runtime initialization. That's it. Okay. So for this, what we have to do, we have to first define the structure. So I think you have clear that how we can define. Okay, with the help of this keyword here, struct is a keyword. With the help of this keyword, we are defining. First, we have to define the structure. So how we can define? Just write down the struct, then tag name. After that, the members of the structure. Now in this program, we have 3 members. We have to enter the roll number, we have to enter the age, we have to enter the name. After that, we have declared the variable s. Then one by one, we are just entering the values. Okay. First, we have entered roll number, then we have entered the name, then age, then name. Okay. Follow the sequence, and just in this, no need to follow the sequence. With the help of this format specifier, no need to follow the sequence that if you define roll number first, then it is mandatory here also we have to write roll number first. No, here just what is important, the format specifier. If you are using roll number, then you need to use %d, and if you are using float type value, then you need %f, and if you are using a variable of character type, then you need %s or %c. Okay, string for %s and for character %c. Okay, so likewise, and for accessing, same. For entering, you are using here dot operator, and for printing also you are using here dot operator. So this is a simple example. Now the next important topic is array of structure. Okay, it is very important for in your structure how you can because before this we are storing only a single variable, or you can single entities or record of a single entity. Like before this, what you are doing, like this example, we are having a student 1, and for this student 1 we are having 3 fields. One is his roll number, second one is age, and the third one is name. For a single entity, means in a class we are having 75 students. In the 75 student, we are just recording with the help of this example a single student record. But when we have to record, or we have to store all the 75 students, and these 3 fields we have to fill. That means S1 also, S2 also, these 3 fields, S3 also 3 fields. Okay, likewise up to S50 student you have to fill. That time we need to create array of structure. That means array means we are having 50 students, means students are same. We need to store the 50 student detail. But what are the detail we have to fill? Details are different. That means we are creating the structure. So this type is of array of structure. For this, there is a single slightly change. That means where we are in structure, definition is same, because definition is what we cannot do. One more thing I want to tell you: you cannot store here like this. You cannot initialize in a definition, like if you want to initialize this RAM here, price here, some price here, suppose 10.5, and page is 25. This is not allowed. In definition, initialization is not allowed. Outside definition, you can initialize the element values, but in definition, no initialization. If you do this, that means all the fields are filled with the same values. So this is not correct. Okay. Okay. So for array of structure, we have to declare a array. So how you can declare an array? With the help of, that means struct Stubrook. Okay. So here we are just creating an array of structure type. That means struct book. That means we have to store the information of 100 books. And what are the information? We have to store the name, price, and pages. That means this is the array of structure. And for storing the elements in an array, what we are doing? We are just using the loops here. So similarly, we are using the for loop here for storing the elements of a structure. Okay. So this is the example of array of structure. So in a structure, we are having basically some features. The first one is structure and assignment operator. As I have already told, the value of a structure variable can be assigned to the another variable, another structure variable of same type using the assignment operator. That is, I have already told you that with the help of the assignment operator, you can assign the value, assign the structure variable of the same type. Okay, so this is one, this is the example of, that means if you want to store this, suppose we are having some variable like E1, E2, E3 employee, some three employee, and if you want to store first employee's value to the second employee, then with the help of dot operator you can do this likewise, like this. Okay, and the second is your nesting structure. How you can, and I think nesting is everybody known. What is nesting? Nesting is basically before this we have nesting, the nesting loop, nesting control statements, that in a something that is comes under the structure within a structure. If you are talking about nesting structure, that means we are creating a structure, and within that structure we are again creating a structure. Like we are having a struct address. This is one structure we are declaring, we are creating, and in this address structure we are again defining one more structure, that is struct employee. This is the nesting of structure. This is one more example. Basically you can one more feature of your structure. Okay, so similarly this is very simple. Means it follow a hierarchy. Likewise, suppose I am taking one example, A, B, C. This A comes like this. If you are, this is the nesting. In this C, our B is nested, and in this B, our A is nested. So for reaching to this A, what we have to do? We have to follow a path C dot B dot A. First, from C we have to reach on B. Then from B we have to reach on A. Okay, and if suppose you want to access from B to A, then from B you need to reach on A. Similarly, when we are creating a nesting structure or nested structure, what we have to do? We just creating structure within a structure. That means we are creating address, and in that address we are creating a struct employee. Okay, but how we can access these element? We are accessing these element like this. Suppose E dot A dot city. Okay, like E dot A dot for. E is a variable of employee type, and A is a variable of address type. So for reaching there, because E is outside, from E to A, and then that particular field you can access. So this is the nested structure. These are the reference books for this topic. If you want to take any reference, then you can follow or go through with these books. So that's all for this lecture. Thank you.